Where's the bang, Preston? Come on.
I can't breathe.
Pub Sports Radio. Come find us in Southtown 101. Subscribe on YouTube and all platforms where podcasts are found.
Welcome to Pub Sports Radio. We are live, baby, live, Max. It's Tuesday, January 25th. We got an excellent card, about a little over 30 games. I am pumped. Tell me how your last night went. I know your Moneyline Parlay is doing well. Moneyline Parlay, man, isn't that on you? Shoot me how the rest of the night went, too, as well, and I'll get into mine.
Yeah, listen, Conor, I'd rather be called Moneyline Max instead of freaking Mattress Max, like Sharpie likes to refer to me. That son of a bitch loves BBWs, but he'll fuck any woman that freaking welcomes him into her bed. So I'm proud of you, Sharpie. I am like your father, just not the type of father that you can rely on for financial support. So you're a good son in that way. And I'll say this, Conor, it was one of the rare nights for me that the main board was way more fruitful than the added board was pregame. I usually do the bulk of my money making and Gus busting through his live app. And last night, I had a much better time on the main board. So love to see that. It's no added board today, so I'm a little disappointed about that, but I'm happy to be here with you. I'm happy to be here with the pubbers, and let's just keep on fucking with our goddamn eyes open the way God intended us to.
Yeah, definitely. We'll get to the chat in just a minute as everybody's rolling in. We'll get to your line moves. But let's go through mine real quick. Got to give out the winners, losers daily like we always do. Wilmington Northeastern went over. That was good. And this South Dakota, Western Illinois, it hurt, Max. To watch that last 3 minutes of that basketball game, needing just a basket and missed free throws and missed threes and twos and layups and threes. And I just was like, it was one of those, it is what it is. And it just ended up a point below. UNLV was pathetic. They got ripped from jump, by the way. I watched that first 5 minutes in. I'm like, they're getting blown out. So that had to be Jump On live. High Point came through in the end, and I got to give a shout-out to you, Max, on San Diego. I got on that. We talked about their own. Shout-outs to some of the guys in the chat who liked it as well. Them with the 9 points was solid, but needs to be better. We'll do better today. Good card. I can't wait to get through it. Let's get through the line moves here right now, Max. From what happened last night, you think that's caught your eye? Sides, totals, give it to me.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of line moves that we've seen. We've seen definite line flip from Rhode Island being a favorite to being a 1 or 1.5 point underdog. We have seen the total go down already 3.5 points in the Alabama-Georgia game from 161 down as low as 158. I'm seeing a 157.5 come on. Another game that we have seen some significant line move is definitely a spot that I want to get involved in. Eastern Michigan and Bowling Green, a total of 151.5 to as high as 154. However, there is a variety of numbers available, so make sure you're line shopping and booking your bets at the best books. We have seen a 3-point line move and a 1.5 point line, 1.5 point spread move towards Illinois, towards Michigan State and towards the under. Kofi Cockburn's status, I have not seen whether or not he is confirmed in or out of the lineup, and that really is going to help determine how I play that game. We have gotten confirmation that Cooper Neese is out of the lineup for Indiana State tonight, and the question becomes who else is out for Indiana State. On the Missouri State side, they did lose Keaton Harvey, who did enter the transfer portal, but this is a Missouri State that still has a lot of bodies that they can throw out there, including a 7-footer Dawson Carper. So I think they'll be fine there. Connor, a line move that we've seen in the MAC conference has been Ball State and Miami, Ohio, going from a 152 total to as low as 148. In the American conference, we've seen the Cincinnati Temple game go from 133.5 to as high as 135 in the last 25 minutes. And Cincinnati went from a 2-point opener to a 4-point favorite right now. When we do look at a spot in the Ivy, we have to take note of the fact that Yale opened up as a 17.5-point home favorite, is down to 15. And the total is up 3 points from 149 up as high as 152. When we look at a Metro Atlantic game, Siena and Iona loves to beat on Siena because Siena has been a thorn in their side. This is a year that they can rout, and we've seen the line go from 17 to as low as 15. So very interesting line movement when it comes to that spread. When we look at the Fordham-Dayton game, this is a very surprising move considering the personnel that was available for Fordham last time out, which did not include Antonio Day or Chubo Hams. I think that with this group, seeing the total go from 125.5 up as high as 129 or 130 is definitely perplexing when you look at this Dayton game. When we look at a spread in the Horizon League, you have to narrow your eyes onto that Wright State Northern Kentucky game where we've seen a heavy steam move towards Wright State where they opened up as a pick'em and now are as high as a 2.5-point favorite. When we look at a game, let's say in the CAA, the game that comes to mind as far as the line move that I've noticed is definitely the total in the William & Mary and Charleston game. William & Mary has been very good ATS, but could that be a little bit of smoke and mirrors? And this total's gone from 152.5 to 156.5. So it's definitely reflecting, even 157, it's reflecting a big Charleston type tempo game. When we look at a couple of games on the later board, I think that the one that stands out the most to me is my UConn Huskies going from a 17-point favorite down to 15. I'm literally waiting for that line to go down as much as it wants to, and I will ride UConn to the fucking window and to Gus's pocket where his money is. When we look at the total, guys, 151 down to 147.5. That's the Josh Applebaum rule right there. So it definitely seems like an under spot. It's just a matter of how far will it go before it's past that threshold of let's jump on the over now. Auburn and Missouri gone from a 14.5-point favorite down to 12.5. So serious respect for that backcourt, Jerron Coleman and Amari Davis for Missouri. When we look at some of the later games, I think that the only game that really popped at my eye was the fact that we're actually seeing the Texas game go up. We've seen that total go from 120.5 to 122.5, and that is quite surprising to me, Connor. So interesting line movement, a lot of line movement. Make sure you're playing your numbers, and if you're a steam chaser, I hope that you got a lot of CLV.
Yeah, we'll get into that game later, the Texas game for sure. Let's give a shout out to the chat before we get to your games, Max. I got to give it the best chat in the goddamn game, as I always say. No doubt. Give a thumbs up. That's all we ask for. Come support us here at Post Sports Radio. T-Mac up in here. Joey, Ron Murray, what's up, my man? James Parm, Sam Comer, Jay Rowe, what's up, my guy? Rob, Crumb, Puzzler, Tiffany H., Colton, what's up, man? Trance, how you doing? Rodney Barton, Mike, Jake Burns, Jake's in here. Dr. Jekyll, Tone, guy Tone. Levels play of the day. I wonder what it is. Hit it in the chat, Tone. Trayvon Jones, shout out. Big Show Picks. What's up, my guy on the ones and twos, as always in the back. Michael Anderson. What'd you say?
I think that Tone's levels play of the day is NBA related.
Oh, okay. Still, if he wants to, yeah. If he's cool with it. There we go. Yeah,
points over and Lakers first half.
Roland G, what's up, my man? Young Speedy. Yeah, there we go. Jokic over and Laker. Okay. Aubrey Griffin, it's great to see you. Max, real quick, let's touch on it because it segues right to your first game with Mississippi State, Kentucky. The line movement on this total. How about this has come down, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
4 points. Yeah, go ahead. Rip right into it. Kentucky's laying 9.5. Total down to 142.5.
Yeah, this was a spot that I obviously want to save for this breakdown. And the fact that we've seen such a heavy move to the total is really been based off of Ty Washington being ruled out. And I think that when you have such a experienced team like this Kentucky team is going to run out, it just puts a lot more shot attempts in Kellen Grady's hand and a lot more driving opportunities for Severe Wheeler. I think that this is a spot where Kentucky is going to be able to flex their muscle offensively early. And now with the line move, I like the first half over that much more. Obviously, at 67.5, it's a good number. If you can get a 67, I do see one particular book that I use that has one out there. And I just think that we're going to see Kentucky rebound from two bad performances. You were able to get the win on the road. You weren't able to get the win against Auburn. You played competitively. You busted through the 70-point plateau. Now let's see you bust through the 80-point plateau at home. And when Kentucky's at their best, they are going to be freaking getting a lot of dribble drive action, a lot of drive and kicks. And when you have the best three-point shooter in the conference, I think that makes a big difference. Now, I will say Mississippi State is no pushover when it comes to their abilities. They are strong, they are physical, they have all the size to challenge and match up well with this Kentucky team. But outside of Iverson Molinar, I don't think that there's a game-changing backcourt scorer. So until someone shows themselves, I think that this is a game that Oscar Tshiebwe has a big game. So all you monkey knife pick players and prize pick players, that's the guy that should be in your lineup. And Kellen Grady, he's playing every minute of Kentucky games, and he's going to have a big outburst on home floor. I think it happens tonight. Kentucky is definitely a team that I want to back as a first half over.
Excellent. I like it. Shout out to Matty Ice. That is my first game on mine when we get to mine. And I like it as well. Let's get to yours, Max. Your second one here. Wyoming, Boise. Both teams playing good basketball, huh? And I know you've played a lot. Both these teams I have as well. Boise's laying 5 here. Total 131.5 around there. What's your look in this one?
Yeah, this is another spot where I think that we're going to see 2 games within one. I think that we're going to see a higher scoring first half as Boise's going to need to establish dominance. And the way that they've done that recently has been with the 3-point shot. The confidence of Marcus Shaver has definitely been a bonus for them. The biggest thing, though, is Tyson Dagenhart. I love what he brings defensively and offensively to this Boise State lineup. And not to mention, Wyoming may be missing not only Kenny Foster, but also Xavier Dussel. So it puts a lot more pressure on Drake Jeffries to score the basketball. I just don't think that it's going to happen. I think that we're going to see Hunter Maldonado and Graham Ike be able to score inside like they've been able to. And I think that Boise State's going to be able to lead the way offensively. When you look at full game, you definitely like the over if you're liking Wyoming, and you probably like the under if you like Boise. For me, though, I want to play where I have my best edge, and I think that the best edge is taking this first half over.
What number did you get, Max?
61.5.
61.5. Okay. Yeah, interesting. Boise's played some great defense as of late. Wyoming's been solid on the road. I still think Boise's the better team here. I think they can cover, but I'm not going to lay 5 with it. All right, Max, let's get to your third here. Missouri State versus Indiana State. Missouri's laying 5.5. Total 140, right around 145.5. What do we look here?
Yeah, listen, I think that with Indiana State, they just have not been able to get a healthy lineup out on the floor. Cooper Neese has already been ruled out for this game from good social media sources that I follow. And I think that when you look at Cam Henry, he's really got to be able to step up into Cooper's shoes and run this offense. He's been able to lead this team in scoring at 15 points per game, but he has been coming off the bench and he is working his way back from COVID or injury. I can't remember which one it was. has. However, this is a Missouri State spot to me. I think that, yes, it is dangerous to back that kind of home favorite in this point range. I think that with the line moving the way that it has, you can split your bet and first half and full game. But with Missouri State, they're not going to be stopped inside. When you look at Donovan Clay, you look at Gage Prim, these are guys that operate close to the bucket. They get to the free throw line a lot, and there's a lot of slashers when it comes to their offense. Jalen Manette can come off the bench and give you some three-point shooting, but you have the most dominant player in Isaiah Mosley. And if there's a game that they need Isaiah Mosley to man up, this is the spot. We've seen a big jump in his production and efficiency since freaking DeMarcus Sharp went out with the leg injury for, I don't even know, it was 2 months or something. At the end of the day, this is just a Missouri State team that I'm backing. I believe in them at this number. If the number was 9.5 or 10, I'd be looking the other way. But under 2 3-point buckets, sign me up with the Bears.
Excellent. I like it. Shout out to everyone in the chat. When you get the second, give us a like. That's all we ask here at Pub Sports Radio. We appreciate all you guys being up and in here on this Tuesday with us. Jay Peasy, what's up, my guy? Good to see you. Daryl Turner. Josh, what's up, my man? Jake Burns, what's up, bro? Bill McDonald, Aubrey Griffin, Young Speedy, 33. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. All right, Max, let's get to your fourth here. Interesting game in this one. Maryland at Rutgers. Rutgers laying 3.5, total 132.5. What do you like here?
Yeah, listen, I think that it is always the difficult task of going into the freaking rack and winning. I think that this Maryland team has motivation already losing to this team at home. I think that that's definitely something to be highly aware of. However, I do think that when we look at personnel, they just don't have the advantage. I like how many ball handlers Rutgers has on the floor at any given time. And with efficiency, I just think that this team shoots more confidently. And with that crowd, it makes a difference. I think that Rutgers definitely has some red flags as far as getting off to a good start and having to come from behind. So they definitely didn't qualify as a first half play to me. But I do think that they're going to win the game. And I do think that when you win a game the way that they win games, if they're not winning it by a game-winning shot, they're winning it by more than 2 buckets. And I think that 3.5 is definitely testing your limits.
Yeah.
But I think that at the end of the day, this is a Rutgers team that is going to know what's coming at them, and they have all the non-basketball factors in their favor. And sight lines matter. So I love the sight line thing, and Rutgers ball facilitation will make sure that guys get open shots tonight. So Rutgers is going to win.
Yeah, I think Rutgers, I talk about all the time. This is where you want them at home. You mentioned it. This number's solid, though, at 3.5. This could be just a bucket game, or they could win by 10 or 15. Maryland's been all right on the road. And, yeah, between these two, I could only look under, but I'm not playing the total in this one. All right, Max, let's get to your last one here. Buffalo versus Toledo. Toledo's laying 4.5. Is always a dangerous number a little bit here with Toledo. Total high, of course, with these two teams, 157.5. What do you like here?
Yeah, I think that if Toledo gets their way, they're going to be playing an up-tempo game with a lot of three-point shooting. And if Buffalo gets their way, we're going to see how they've been able to dominate opponents in conference with games that have been lower scoring. We've seen 3 Buffalo unders, all unders that have gone under by more than 10 points based off the closing line. So if you do like an under in this game, I would suggest not betting a -110 line, selling 3 or 4 points, because if it's a Buffalo game, that means that you're going to freaking make that plus money. On the other side, if you do like Toledo, this is an over team, and Toledo has not been afraid to bust the bookies' pockets with these plus money additional totals. I say this over and over again to anybody that will listen. 60+% of college basketball games this year finish 4 points below or above the closing line. That means that there is selling value. And that means that you can eliminate vig if you're a volume player. This game is definitely has all kinds of landmines all around it. From a statistic perspective, Toledo does dominate offensively and matches up, if not exceeds, what Buffalo's done on defense. Buffalo needs 3-point shooting. If they don't get it from their perimeter players, it's a problem. And for Toledo, if they can't stop the dribble drive penetration from Ronaldo Segou, if they can't stop the kick, the drive and kicks, then they are going to lose this game. It's a bad situational spot for Toledo coming off a huge win against Ohio, but I don't think that they match up well. I don't think Buffalo matches up well with this Rocket team, especially with how dominant they are with their front court 3-point shooting. I got to ride with Toledo, maybe walking into a trap, but I'm stepping right into it, guys.
Yeah, that one's tough for me. I think they might win that game, Max, but it's tough for me to lay the points with this Toledo side. I have been burned time and time again, but they usually win. I just say in the cover, the ATS the last few years, especially laying numbers. When I've caught points with Toledo, they've been really, really good for me. Anything else you want to touch on real quick, or are you good?
Yeah, no, I'm good. I just want to touch on the fact that it's important to make sure that you're checking up on lineup information. And just like every other year, there's always information that comes out right before that can impact your decision on your bet. And you should always be staying up to date on that stuff.
Yes, definitely. All right, let's get to my Max. My first one, Arizona, UCLA. I roll in UCLA here. Total's 150. It's come down a little bit. It's right around there, 149.5. But I'm not messing with that. I got a 3. I know hold on. I don't think there's any more 3s left. There's Caesars. I see one. Mostly all 2.5s everywhere else. Arizona's really, really good. I don't want to butcher his name because we always do. Tubeless, he might be out, right, Max, for Arizona? They're very, very deep.
He made the trip with them, but even if he doesn't play, Umar Balo's definitely stepped up.
That's what I mean. They're very deep, but still losing 15-6. And now Pauley Pavilion should be packed tonight. No fans lately. It's just kind of a bad spot for this Arizona team that I really, really like. But I just think tonight is not the night for them. I think they come to play. I think Mick Cronin, I think he has them ready. And I think the fans will be hyped in this one to have them back. They'll be jacked. And if they're not, how can you not be, with Arizona coming to town? It's conference games are always tough. They're going to drop a few road games, even the best teams in the country. I just think this is a very leery, tired spot here for Arizona. I got to take UCLA, take the 2.5 even now, or just I think they win outright tonight. You have anything here? You on Arizona?
No, I want team totals in the game.
Okay. What are you going to go with? Arizona's?
Both.
Okay. Yeah, we'll see. It should be, a high-scoring game. The totals come down a little bit. It should be a really good game all the way around. All right, let's get to the next one, Max. St. Thomas, North Dakota. Total 149.5. It's come down at just a half a point. I got to take the over. I said if this was in the 140s, it's just there barely, but I got to take the over. St. Thomas scores 78. They give up 73. North Dakota State scores 73. They give up 70. I think North Dakota State gets in the 80s. They do regular. This St. Thomas team does not play defense well, especially on their perimeter. St. Thomas, 8th in the country, Max, 39% from 3. North Dakota State, not bad. They shoot 35 from 3. Both these teams just score. And like I said, if I had under 50, I'm going to take the over, and I will here. St. Thomas, though, we'll get to the side here. Plus 8.5 was interesting. They've been pretty good on the road, 6-1 the last 7. And North Dakota State, as a favorite at home, hasn't been great the last 10. I believe they're 8-1 or something like that as a home favorite. So I'm not taking the points. I lean that way with St. Thomas, but just give me the over in this game. Do you have anything in this one?
Yeah, listen, I got a whole bunch of plays in this game. I got the fucking first half over. I got the full game over. I got the Tommy's team total over. I'm leaning towards laying it, betting on the Tommies and taking them on the spread. I have to fucking give my daps to Riley Miller and Ryan Lindbergh. These guys can just hit shots with little room and just put them up out of nowhere. This team puts up 35 to 43-point shot attempts a game and are hitting 13 or more. It's a dangerous offense to mess with because if they're not on, games will stay way under. But if they are on, chugga chugga choo choo to the fucking strip club.
Definitely. Yeah, Jake, fade me all you want, my man. Cincy versus Temple. Cincy's laying 4 here. Total's 134.5. We were talking this in the back, Max. Temple has won 3 in a row, has played some better basketball, beating East Carolina, Tulsa. We talked about some of the scores. Cincinnati's been playing really, really well in scoring lately. But that game against Tulsa was crazy. They scored 90 points in that game. I don't see it happening again. Temple's really bad. 302 in shooting it, 325th in the country from 3. They're slow. They're 302 in pace, tempo, all the bullshit. So this is why I think it comes back to I know since he scored a little bit more as of late, I'm on the under 134.5 here. And like I said, I think Temple's playing well, but and they just haven't been Cincy. I think it was 8 or 9 in a row. They haven't beat them 9 straight times. So I wanted to take Temple, but it wasn't enough. So I'm staying off the side, and I'm just sticking to the total. I'm on the under here. What did you like in this game?
I like Cincinnati as a money line parlay piece. I think that, yes, you bring up some very valid points. I will say this, though. David DeJulius, 4 games of 15 points or more, seems to really be asserting himself offensively, and that's what this backcourt has needed the most throughout the season. If he continues to do that, especially against a very guard-oriented Temple team, your main option against Temple is don't worry about everybody else getting theirs. Just stop Damian Dunn from putting up a 30-point game on you. Since he can do that, then they're going to win. But Temple has been good to their backers, and if you've been riding them the last 4 games, you cashed 4 out of the last 5, and you probably should keep on riding them.
Yeah, since he's playing good basketball right now, Temple better of late. Can they get over the hump here at home? We'll see. Let's get to my last one, Max. This was just more of a lean. I have not bet this yet. I'm thinking about it, and I missed the line already. I didn't jump on it last night. I like UNR, Colorado State. They're laying now 8.5. Obviously, it was 7 last night. Total here was interesting, Max, at 153.5. I think it's a little high. Obviously, both these teams score. Colorado State's been going under a lot lately. I think 9 of 10. What did you think about this total in this game, real quick?
Yeah, I thought that when I saw the first half at 72.5, it definitely was a little perplexing to me. I think that with Colorado State, they definitely have some first half value when it comes to the spread, but the total, I think that it's under City. I think it's first half full game under. I think that Adam Thistlewood not being in the lineup takes away a little bit of Colorado State's perimeter defense with his length. However, I don't think that it's a nail in the coffin. I think that it's under basketball tonight.
I do too. I was shocked that it was this high. And yeah, if I were on a side here, I'd take Colorado State. UNR got a nice win at Fresno at home, but it's just stretching it now at 8.5. But that'd be if I had to here, I'd lay it with Colorado State. All right, that is it.
It's Nevada that you got to worry about forcing Colorado State to score. It's who dictates tempo. It decides so many totals. It's nauseating sometimes.
You're exactly right, and I just think it's a tad high in that one. I think we're getting a little bit of value looking through everything. All right, Max, that is it for both our games. Let's get to the rest of them. Shout out to the chat. Right now, right before we hit the commercials, get all the games you want us to talk about. We should be able to touch them all, but put them in. Give me the line, the total, and let's get to it. But let's get a word from our sponsors real quick. If you're in the San Antonio area, go to Southtown 101, the best bar in town, hands down. Go there, get drunk, have a beer, sing karaoke, have a good old time. And go to mybookie.ag. You got to have multiple books, get the best lines, Max. Got to get there, put 1,000. You got to transfer it to Bitcoin, though. And they'll give you 1,000 back. And last, Manscaped, 20% off, promo code PubSports. Get the Lawnmower 4.0, but don't just get that. Get that whole kit and caboodle. Comes with everything in it. So go to manscaped.com, 20% off, promo code PubSports. And last, get your meat rubbed with Pub Rub barbecue and a regular. Get the chicken rubbed down. Get the brisket, the ribs. Get your meat rubbed with the Pub Rub, 2 for $25. Can't beat it. And while you're at pubsportsradio.com, cop one of our t-shirts. Support us. We appreciate it. We be pubbing. All right, Max, let's get to the chat. Let's get to the rest of the games. There's a ton of good games out there, so let's get to it. All right. T-Mac wants to know, Miami, Ohio, Ball State. Ball State's plus 2.5. What do you like here?
Yeah, I think that I would have to go with Ball State first half at least. We've seen Ball State do well in this underdog role at home and on the road. 40 minutes has been a little more difficult, but I do think that as long as they can do a good job of containing Miami, Ohio offensively from 2 out of 3 levels, they should be good.
Okay, how about Fresno, New Mexico here, Max? Do you like Fresno here on the road?
Oh, yeah. There's definitely some issues personnel-wise with New Mexico. They may not have Saquon Singleton again tonight. That's a big deal for them. I think that when you look at Fresno, just from a number perspective, the number's probably pretty straight on. I think that the first half has more value than full game, and obviously with live betting, you can always get on them again.
Excellent. Well, we really have to wait. I think this is all on the big man's playing here. Michigan State, Illinois, laying 4.5. Anything here?
Listen, I think that if you do get Kofi Coburn ruled in, you do get a better line on Michigan State. I just don't know if Michigan State can beat Illinois on their home floor with Kofi in there. Kofi makes just a huge difference. So the way that I'd be looking to attack it, if I had to get a free bet in right now, I'd take Michigan State team total over. I think it's going to be more offensive, even though the line's gone the other way.
Excellent. Colorado, Oregon. Feel safe laying 8 with Oregon, total 136.5, right around there, 137.
It's a game that I'm probably not going to have anything on, but if you were to give me a free pick and I was betting to take money out of Gus's pocket, I would definitely take Oregon and serve him cock soup.
How about this game, Max? Richmond, Rhode Island. Richmond's laying 1 here. Can Rhode Island get it done at home? What do you think?
Yeah, listen, I'm riding with my guy Nasty Nate. He was on the campus smoking weed, probably checking out all the freaking bitches. And I think that when we look at this spot, Rhode Island has 2 big men that are going to really deter a lot of driving. And if Richmond isn't hitting jump shots from the perimeter, how are they facilitating that offense? Because they are a lot of slashers and a lot of off-ball movement with rollers to the bucket.
Definitely. All right, Max. Wright State's laying 2 at Northern Kentucky. This total is 145.5. You playing anything here?
Listen, Wright State's looking really good, and Tanner Holden may be coming off a 38-point game, but it does seem like a scoring output that he can meet on a semi-regular basis. I don't think he needs that much tonight. Northern Kentucky, though, is definitely at their best right now with Bryson Langdon and Trevon Faulkner back in the lineup, Marquise Warwick starting at the 3 spot. This team is good. The result will be based off how Wright State scores the basketball against Northern Kentucky's defense and how Sam Vincent from Northern Kentucky is able to shoot from the 3. He's the X factor for Northern Kentucky. If he has a 15 to 20-point game, they'd probably win. If they hold them under that, I do think Wright State probably finds their way to win by at least a couple buckets.
Okay. How about this one? Let's get it over with. Auburn laying a big number at Missouri. Come down a little bit to 12.5, total 141.5. Do you have anything here?
I think that I hate to say it, I think that there's value with Missouri's team total over if we're talking about somewhere in the range of like 63.5 to 66.5. I think that against Auburn, they're going to get a lot of offensive opportunities with the amount of threes and the short clock possessions that Auburn has. So I think at home they're better, and they do not like being this big kind of a dog. They play up to it.
All right, Matthew wants to know Villanova first half laying 9.5. You like it?
I'm not really there on Villanova. I think that the only thing I'm interested in that game are totals.
Hey, if Villanova's hot and stroking the three, they cover. They come out and blast them, and they'll probably cover full game. It just, I don't know. And they do that normally at home. They play better, but yeah, I love it. Here, we'll stick with Villanova. I think you meant halftime, Trenton, 62, first half.
Yeah, absolutely. If we're talking the over 62 in the first half, I like that. I think that we are going to see a DePaul team healthy with Jones and Liberty in the lineup. And as long as they can penetrate Villanova's very suspect front court defense, I think that we're going to see a high scoring game tonight.
Oh, this one, Max. Bama laying 14.5 at Georgia. Georgia teams, it's not very good, but that's a ton of points for this Bama team on the road.
Yeah.
What do you like here?
I'll tell you this before I tell anybody what I like in this goddamn spot, which is a beautiful game for Alabama to get right. Hit the fucking like button, my friends. Let's go.
No shit.
Even if you don't like me, hit the like button. I'm just asking for a little something. Okay, I'm not asking you to freaking buy me lap dances or freaking pay my bar tab after I freaking ran out of cash. Come on.
They're not asking for any of that shit.
Hit that goddamn like button and let's fucking roll through the rest of this fucking card. And I'll tell you something. If there's a get right spot for Alabama, this is it. But I'm not laying this type of number with them when I've seen instance after instance of them not being able to accomplish their goal.
All righty, next one. Big game here. Talked about it earlier, Max, in the line movement. Texas at TCU. TCU's played good basketball. They're plus 2.5. The total, like talked about, went up a little bit. It's like 122.5. Side total, anything here?
Yeah, listen, this is a spot from Jimmy's show this morning. I'm on the first half over in this game. I think that when you look at it, it's pretty simple. Texas plays very slow basketball, yes, but they don't do it on the road. On the road, we've seen them have to play a little more up-tempo. TCU is a team that definitely can get into the 65, 66-point range, and with 2.5 points of value based off my first half line, it was definitely a play that I think we can get over 56.5.
All right, let's get to this one. It's a ton of points. William and Mary is catching 14. Charleston totals way up. Like you mentioned, 157. William and Mary in the points here.
It's hard not to take it. It's hard not to take it. I was tempted by.
I agree.
I was tempted by Charleston first half because I do think that this William & Mary is a little smoke and mirrors. And with Conor Kuchera and Ben Witt coming off almost 50-point performance last time out, I don't know if they're able to replicate that offense. I think that when we look at the total, the move and 4 points towards the over definitely gives you the indication that Charleston isn't going to struggle offensively. It's just, do I want to put my money on it? I'm not really sure about that.
That's how I feel, Max. Can like William and Mary keep shooting it this well? Like we saw when they kind of had a shitter stinker when I was on with Towson. That was kind of, then now they've come back and played well. But you're right. If Conor Kuchera and Lewis, all those guys, right, they score. I think they definitely could cover it. Do you want to jump on it? For sure. We'd mentioned this one, Max, a little earlier. I think it's a lot of points. I like Iona a lot, but laying 15 here, can Siena cover this number?
This is a spot where you have to look at off the court motivation. And with the way that Siena and Iona have played in the past, this Iona team is definitely a team that needs motivation. They play up to their opponents. And this is a game that I would say is one of the instances where they just want to fuck somebody up. And that is the Siena Saints. I am nervous for Siena tonight. I'm willing to take Iona on the first half as a big favorite. However, the first half and full game over are where my numbers have the most value. I think that with Siena, we've seen elevated scoring, and if they can score 65 points in this game, I do think we are going to see the mid 140s, and that will take care of both overs.
Okay. Anything in this one? I did not. Akron, Central Michigan's 12.5. The line, the total's 138, 138.5. Anything here?
Central Michigan's defense is still poor. I do think that we got to wash that Akron Eastern Michigan game out of our memory. I think that was an anomaly. I don't think that's going to be a regular occurrence. And when I look at Akron from a guard perspective, with Brian Trimble Jr. and Xavier Castaneda, these are the guys that got to provide support. You know what you're going to get from Ali Ali and Enrique Freeman. They're going to bang on the glass. They're going to get easy scoring opportunities, and they're going to get to the free throw line a whole bunch. I think Central Michigan's defense is going to get lit up tonight. I think that if you can get a team total that is under 75 with Akron, I think it's a good play to freaking get on.
Okay. How about this one? G, what's up, my man? Shout out to my guy. What's up, brother? Good to see you up in here. He's probably busy doing shit at work right now. K-State, Baylor. Baylor laying the big 14 here. Max, K-State's covered a lot of numbers. Can they do it here? What Baylor team are we going to get? The really good one that, that kind of had those 2 bad games, and they were at home. Now they've come back, total 136.5. What do you like here?
For me, I go and I summon my inner freaking Tone. I summon my inner Tone.
Well, Tone wants Baylor.
I mean, he's play of the day. I can just feel it right now. I can feel a Baylor first half, a Baylor full game, a Baylor team total over. And at home, Connor, we know that this Baylor team is a regular 80-point producer. So I'm obviously attracted to the team total with Baylor. With 14 points in this Kansas State team, it's a little more difficult to get on. So I'm going to have to just wait and see where the wind blows and where the steam goes, because I may be steam chasing on this game.
Yeah, I'm one of the biggest Baylor backers fan. I love this team, but I don't know about 14. Maybe a team total, like you talked about. I think that's a ton of points in that one. All right, Max, let's keep rolling. Yeah, go ahead.
Let's just shout out Michael Irvalina. He's wanted to know about Oregon and Colorado. I said that if I had a free bet, I would be on Oregon, but I don't know if I'll actually get to the window with it or to my confirmation window.
Yeah, and I already talked about me and Oregon are not mixing for a long time. So I'm not on that game at all. All right, San Jose State, Max, they're laying 1.5 to Air Force, total 125.5. Do you have any look here?
I think that when we look at this game, I have to really try and dial back my fanboyness for Air Force right now, because they're playing solid basketball. Even though the win-loss column isn't really reflecting it, this is a game where they can win. I think that when you see them as a double-digit dog, they definitely have a lot of value because Ethan Taylor has really emerged. We've seen Jake Heidbreder have some big offensive shooting games, and you still have AJ Walker, who is a game changer on anybody's court in the Mountain West. I think that this is a spot where if they get off to a good start and they aren't leaving points at the free throw line, Air Force is going to win this game outright. And I continue to back my play that I gave out this morning with Jimmy and Peter. So Air Force on the money line for me.
Yeah, I definitely don't want to be taking San Jose. They're not, the basketball they've been playing is not good at all, Max, even to lay a point. All right, big game here. Clemson at Duke. Clemson, we know, can have trouble on the road, but this is a ton of points, 11.5, total 145.5. What do you like here?
Yeah, for me, this is a spot where I am completely sold on Duke first half, Duke full game over. That is what I prefer in this game. This is what I like in this game. Duke's defense is just not talked about enough in our circles, and it is phenomenal. The way that they were able to shut down Syracuse was definitely textbook, and I think that it's something that we can rely on a regular basis from this Duke team in this year with Coach K leaving. every game is that much more amplified and important in my eyes, especially a game at Cameron Indoor. So this is a Duke route spot. That's how I'm looking at it. That's what my projections are saying to me. And I'm gonna ride the data with this one.
All right, let's get to this one, Max. Eastern Michigan, Bowling Green. They're laying 8, total 153.5. Did you have any look in this game?
Yeah, for me, this is over City. I like team totals for both teams, and I like the over. The biggest issue is who's going to be available for Eastern Michigan. We know Monty Scott probably is not available. Noah Farrakhan did not play last game, but we did have Bryce McBride back in the starting lineup and Darian Spotsville. That they will have to be able to score. And against Bowling Green's defense, who can't score? Like, it's a real sad fucking day if you can't score against this Bowling Green Falcon defense. They are just terrible.
True. That's true. How about this? Can Kent State cover 11.5 against Western Michigan, a bad basketball team?
Yeah, listen, Western Michigan is at their best right now. So if there's a time to be backing them as a double-digit favorite, this would be the time. Brian Ardis-White is back in the lineup. Lamar Norman is a legitimate game-changing 25-plus point scorer in a game like this. It's just a matter of can they score against Kent State's defense. Kent State's been very stout that way. So it's a tough spot for me to get on either way. It's more of a live betting spot. Yeah,
me too. Like you mentioned it, I just 11.5 with Kent State. They're like you talked about, good defensively, but yeah, I just couldn't get there with Western Michigan. I need a few more points. How about this one, Max? Northern Illinois, Ohio, 18.5. A few out there. Total right around 135.5, 136. Anything here?
Yeah, listen, if there's a bigger situational rebound spot for a route, I don't know what else it could be. Ohio is coming off a freaking double-digit loss at home to Toledo. Now they get Northern Illinois, who is very dependent on Keyshawn Williams being able to come off the bench and give you more than double-digit production, giving you high double-digit production. I think that when you look at freaking this Northern Illinois team, they have been playing better team basketball, and they've been able to reward some of their backers in ways. I just think that with this situation, as my guy fucking Paul would play, be like, yeah, you got to play the situation. The situation is Ohio probably routes. So if you are worried about laying the 17 or 18 with them now, I would be looking first half and then moving on from there.
Excellent. How about this one, Max? We got a touch. We just got a few more, and this was coming right up next. Fordham at Dayton. Our guy, brother BKL, wants to know, what do we have here? 13.5. Dayton's laying. This, we talked about, the total's gone up to 129.5. Side total, anything here?
Well, I don't have a bet on the game right now. The thing that I'm targeting is Fordham's team total over. When you look at that team total over and it being 56.5, there is not a game except for the St. Louis game, I believe, where they haven't scored more than that. And that's also including the fact that Antonio Day has not played the last couple games, and Chuba Harms didn't play either last time out. So Darius Quisenberry had put up, I think, 36 points against Davidson. I don't know if they have an emotional letdown from that game, but if they can still summon that type of scoring from him and dribble, drive, penetration, and three-point shooting from the top of the circle, then yeah, Fordham's going to be a team total over that gets above 56.5 points.
Yeah, this has moved up. I initially liked the over. I don't know if Fordham can hang around. I want to take the points with them, Max. Go ahead.
No. I was just going to say, I do know a Master Jedi, and he would.
If it's 130, I like the under.
Yeah.
I was going to see if it got to 130, I think I would roll.
Would you buy it up, though? Would you buy it up, or would you sell down back to 125.5?
No, initially I like the over. Like a little, when I first saw this game, it's gone all the way up. I thought if it hit 130, I might look under. I like the points more than the total in the game. I just can't trust Fordham. I can't trust them Do you think they get over 56.5? I mean, probably.
I think that they score the 56. I think they get the 57, and I just have to hope that they get the big man back because that will help them on the spread also.
Yeah, and if they do, though, I think they can cover that number. That's what I'm saying. With a Dayton team that struggles to score at times, they can go in some like crazy stretches. I've seen them where it goes bad.
You just don't want to walk into another St. Bonnie's debacle. Where Dayton's playing great defense, you're not able to get any kind of consistent rhythm into your jump shot, and then you're down 20 before halftime.
Who wrote this in here? Was it Bill McDonald? Yeah, it's come down though. The Alabama game, Max. What about the under? This come down from 160 to 158. I still lean that way. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think that you're absolutely right. I think that I said that I'd have to be getting something in the range of 74 and 75 to take an over in the first half. And I think that right now that's probably where we get some value. I think that with a 161.5, which was the opener, going down as low as 157.5, there's definitely some lack of faith in two-sided scoring. Obviously, with overs, we need two-sided scoring. I think Georgia can give you the two-sided scoring in the first half. And with Alabama's defense being not really in the gutter, but close to the gutter, they may be getting hand jobs for freaking for coupons that they clipped. I don't know. I'm just not willing to freaking get freaking hardcore on one and tell you guys to bet it.
Yeah, well, that leads to the next question. So who's got it here? Nathan, Bama first half then. Would you want to take them?
I think that it's a live betting situation. I think it's just a complete live betting situation.
Yeah, I agree. Bama's just been, when that defense plays that bad, and the shooting has been so inconsistent, Max. The threes and stuff, they chuck up a bunch when they're on. They can get rolling when they're off. It's cold.
Well, it's the fact that they don't shoot the mid-range jumper. I don't
mid-range.
Keep that out of your arsenal.
I agree.
So
yeah, they don't do enough of it for sure. Let's hit a few more. Do you want to just throw them up, Big Show? We'll just get through it right now. How many have we left? 5, maybe?
Yeah, 7.
Yeah, well, that was my game. I had Colorado State. I thought that total was too high. We talked about earlier, Max. At 153.5, I leaned under. Go ahead.
Yeah, at Colorado State, I already said I think it's an under in the halves, and I think that it's a Colorado State spot to prove early on that they can freaking dominate this Nevada team.
Yep. Go ahead. Max, you there?
Yep.
Go ahead.
Richmond, Rhode Island? Okay. Yep. Yeah, listen, I'm on Rhode Island. This is a spot where I just think that Rhode Island's going to be able to present a line of defense that Richmond isn't used to seeing. And I do think that with the number flipping in their favor definitely makes me like and trust my number more, which I thought Rhode Island was a 3-point favorite.
Yeah, I have nothing there. I'd like to take Rhode Island. I wish they were catching a few more.
Yeah, the only thing with Yale is definitely a spot where I want to take a first half over. I want to see how much of a thumping that they can put on Columbia and how much resistance and scoring Columbia can back it up. It just seems like a first half over spot.
Yeah, can Columbia score enough? And yeah, I'd lean over.
Yeah, listen, I'm all about Southern Illinois in this spot. If I can get 13 or better, I definitely have to respect the fact that Loyola is going to be in a very angry mood coming off a Missouri State home loss by more than 8 points. And with Southern Illinois, they haven't been at their best on the road as a dog. I think that the number makes the bet, and the number definitely points me towards Southern Illinois.
Yeah, I wish I had more with Southern Illinois. I talk about my struggles backing that team all the time. But I think it's a lot with Loyola here. But they are at home. It was a pass.
Yeah, listen, I think that Cal State Northridge can provide some resistance to this Santa Barbara team. This is not an offensive Santa Barbara of the past, especially if they're missing Calvin Wishart. I just think that at the end of the day, if you can limit the damage that So and Norris are going to do down low, you can overcome any backcourt scoring that comes out of this Santa Barbara team. So I like the dirty dog with Northridge.
I don't trust Northridge. That's why this was a pass for me. And I hate it. Yeah, it's moved to 7.5, 8. Gauchos aren't the same as they've been in the last few years past.
Yeah, Syracuse all day, baby. It's time to get right. I don't give a fuck about revenge. Scheme-wise, offensive strength-wise, Syracuse checks those check marks. And Dr. Mandy would be like, bet the orange. Bet the orange, Max. Don't think about it. I like him first half and full game.
Yeah, I lean Syracuse a bit. Pittsburgh just can't score. And I lean under. I just worry because Pittsburgh can't score. And it might get out of hand. Syracuse could score enough. But at 140, I'd only look under here.
Last one and a good one.
Yeah, I saved it for that.
Yeah. All right, guys. I'm gonna just tell it how it is. Adama Sanogo in the lineup. We've lost 2 games this season. 2 games. And those 2 games were to Michigan State and they were to Seton Hall. We are not playing a team that is anything like either of those teams tonight. And Georgetown better watch their fucking ass because they're coming to a part of the country that doesn't like Hoyas. We're going to beat you by 20. We're going to spank you. We're going to make you cry. We're going to get Patrick Ewing to get himself a technical. It's going to be wonderful. It's going to be glorious. And it's going to be fucking with your eyes open 101 all day, every day. Let's go, UConn. Give me the fucking points, baby.
Yep, I have nothing to add. You can't add anything after that. Nothing to be added. All right, that's it. We got it in. We got the games in. Yeah, I was saving that for last. Nathan, sir, and I saw you over UConn, but I knew that was what we were going to get from Max, so it was perfect. We saved it for the end. Shout out to everyone in the chat. T-Mac, Tiffany H, Nathan Cerna, Crystal Warren. Yeah, I like the under if you were talking the Pittsburgh game. Ramos, Banana Grapes, Jake, Chris, Rob, MMA Locker Room. What's up, man? Toledo, Rutgers, Wyoming. Right on. Shout out to everyone in there. If I missed you, I'm sorry. Arthur Mead, good to see you, my guy here, coming at the end. Appreciate you. All right, Max, give a shout out the last to the chat, as you always do. Give your best bet, parlay, whatever you're doing today. I'll do mine. We'll get out of here, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, guys, I am a huge homer with UConn. I'm just not going to watch the game and put my money on Georgetown. I did it with St. John's because it made sense and my number made sense. In this game, I still think that UConn wins this game by 17 to 19 points. And that is enough value for me to put freaking a chunk of Canadian money on them. And hopefully it comes back to me plus some. I think at the end of the day, this is why you want to have college teams and you want to be able to watch them on TV is to put your money on them and fucking yell at the TV for an hour and a half. At the end of the day, let's get some freaking money. Let's get our bookies money. Let's support local strippers. Let's dip our chicken tenders in honey. And of course, I'm going with the parlay again. So not going to get all hyped about it. Just going to freaking read it out nicely. Toledo, Cincinnati money line plus 135. That's all I'm doing. I'm taking 2 teams that I don't want to back as on the spread as favorites. I do think that there are situational aspects that favor them. And I do think most importantly, my numbers favor them to win. So that's what we're rolling with. Plus 135, Cincinnati, Toledo money line parlay.
Excellent, Max. Sounds good. I got UCLA plus 3. If you can't get it, 2.5 is fine. Don't even do it. They're going to win. Take the money line tonight. I think Pauley Pavilion is packed. St. Thomas, North Dakota State. I'm on the over 149.5 here. I think we get up and over. And Max likes Cincy. I think it's a good game. I'm on the under 134.5 in that one. And that's it, Max. We're out of here, man. That was a good one. We crammed everything in our hour. Got everything done. Now let's just win these bets, huh?
Please and thank you.
Just win, D. Just win. All right, let's get out of here. He's Great Maxwell Swart. I'm Conor Mack. We be popping! Peace.